Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the public hearings of the Commission. We are having this on another gruesome chapter. The themes that we have been mandated to look at gross violations of the human rights of individuals here in the Gambia. And one of those chapters occurred in November 11th, 1995, with the extrajudicial executions of individuals whose rights weren't respected. We will have them in our thoughts today and our prayers as well. Imam, you have the floor. If you can offer some prayers, please.
Comme ni ko chairman waxee bés ni ki tey ñu ngi fàttaliku suñ mbokki julit ak yeneen mbokki chrétien yi ñi nga xam ne dee nañ ci ay jamono yoo xam ne ñun xamuñ naka la te duñ musa xam naka la bi ci gën a fees nag mooy November 11 suñ doom yi suñ seet yi suñ rakka yi ak suñ doom yi ñu faat leen ci anam boo xam ne dafa doy waar tey dañ leen war a fàttaliku xam ne ñii xamuñ sax naka lañ dee te mun naa am sax toppatoowuñ leen ni ñu war a toppatooyee jullit mbete christian pour nga dem fekki sa borom waaye yàlla nag moom xam na lépp gis na yépp te xam na lépp te mooy nangu lépp kon ñun tey dinañ yaakaar ne fii ci TRRC ci ndigali chairman dinañ ñaanal suñ mbokki jullit yi ak christian yi nga xam ne faat nañ leen ci faat boo xam ne faat bu ñaaw la bu àndut ak digga bu defee ñu ñaan yàlla ci coobareem ak ci mën-mënam ak yërmandeem mu yërëm leen te xare leen àjjana ñu def ñaan di ñuy ñaam kenn Fatiha fukki Ixlaas ak benn ñu jagle leen ko gannaaw loolu nag dinaa def ñaan bi nga xam ne moom lañ dee ñaan fii nii kon bismillah auzu billahi mina shaytaan rajim bismillahi rahmani rahim alhamdulillah الحمد لله هادنا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هادينا الله الأول والآخر والزاخر والباطن يا ربنا لك الحمد يا ربنا لك الحمد يا ربنا لك الحمد كما ينبغي وجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد خاتم النبيين وإمام المرسلين سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين يلا يرم
Ameen. Shukran, Imam Jallo. Bishop, you have the floor, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Lord God of power and might, the one who wields power and sovereignty throughout the whole wide world, you who create all humankind in your image and in your likeness. You alone have the power to give life. You alone have the power to take life. And so today, November 11th, we remember those service men and others whose life were taken away on November 11, 1995. We continue to ask that of your goodness, your mercy, and your love, that you will look kindly upon their souls, and that you will grant them eternal rest. And we submit their family members and all who were near and dear to them and are still feeling the pain of the loss of their loved ones. Of your goodness and grace, we beg that you will console and comfort those family members. Those that are in need, make the necessary provision for their daily sustenance. This we ask through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Bishop Odeko. And my apologies, I had said earlier that it was November 11, 1995. It's November 11, 1994. Just want to make the correction. Council, if we're ready with this morning's witness, please proceed.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, commissioners, and members of the audience. Hadi Dandejabi would lead the next witness. Thank you.
Thank you. Please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. Mr. Usher, can the witness be brought in, please?
I, Momodou Touray,
Nte Momodou Touray.
I, Momodou Touray,
Nte Momodou Touray.
Nte Momodou Touray.
do swear
Mben kalila ko.
Mben kalila ko.
I'll speak the truth,
Mbe toñale fola.
Mbe toñala fola.
the whole truth,
Toña dama.
Toña damma.
and nothing but the truth.
Nte fem fola men manke toñate.
Nte fem fola mem manke toñate.
So help me God.
Oto alama ala yendema.
Oto alama ala yendema.
Good morning, Mr. Witness.
Sama Sedo.
Thank you for coming to the TRRC today to
Numbara
testify.
purila songola purukana TRRC bi kanela Sedi and Rodi.
We've already met and you know my name, but for the record, it's Hadidande Jabi.
Omandom bentalenu bada haninka bi puruka puru safero ron ay tilinje don to mu Hadidande Jabelete.
And I shall be guiding you through your testimony today before the commission.
Tabe tetela ila Sedi and Rodi jonin kono bi.
Mr. Witness, you have opted to speak in the Mandinka language.
Sedo e intombonne ko ebe diamula ni manninka kangolla.
Therefore, I would request that you listen to my questions in English.
To dalilo kamalamba kanine buluko esi la moy nanyini karolla ning hakilola.
And then to the interpretation in Mandinka.
Andu ni la moy ning kanna so ni la moy nyini karolla esi la moy kanna sorla fanan na memba kanna soro kala ni manninka kangola komala.
Before you shall give your answers.
Ni bela jabi rodi la.
I have your statement before me. And having gone through it, I would wish us to discuss some of the issues today before this commission. Firstly, we would like to know about your background. We will discuss about a demonstration that happened in Westfield. You shall tell us about your arrest and detention at the Paramilitary Intervention Unit. We shall discuss about your transfer and detention at the Mile 2 Central Prisons.
Mile 2, sorry.
You shall further tell us how you were transferred to NIA headquarters. We shall talk about your torture and detention at the NIA headquarters. You shall further tell us how you were transferred back to Central Prison of Mile 2. Your further transfer to Janjambure Prison in Makati.
Central River region.
We shall also discuss with this commission the charges that were levied on you, your conviction, and your sentence.
Then the
commission would like to hear how this had an effect on you and your family. After discussing these issues, I shall hand you over to the chair of the commission. Okay. The interpreter has already said the other part I was supposed to say.
Sorry.
Then you'll be given the opportunity to make the closing remarks you may have. I wish to remind you that you have taken an oath before this commission today. And you're expected to tell the truth. Mr. Witness, are you comfortable and ready to proceed?
Yes.
Please, can you state your names for this commission?
My name is Momodou Touray.
Is that your full name?
Yeah, that's my name and surname.
And I shall be correcting that on your statement because it says Momodou Touray. Can you tell us your educational background?
ila londi karango nying si domanding fono nyeje ya commencé min dola anu fay lota min dola
alla londi karango nga commencé Ilyasa Primary School.
I started my education at Ilyasa Primary School.
1979.
In 1979.
Danda primary 4.
I stopped at primary 4. Since I left at that stage, I didn't have the chance to continue. Then I fell back on farming.
After 1988.
Then after that, in 1988, then I came after my elder brother, who happens to be a carpenter, called Sirifo Jamme. I was with him at that time, learning to become a carpenter myself. Till when I was able to do my own carpentry by myself.
Therefore, Mr. Touray, it is correct to say that you are a carpenter by profession.
Yes, my job is carpentry.
Can you give this commission your date of birth?
Yeah.
17th February.
I was born on the 17th of February.
1966.
In 1966.
Can you tell the commission your current address?
I'm presently resident at Manjai Kunda.
Mr. Touray, are you a member of any political party?
Mr. Touray, for ida political party to
political party.
Yes, I am a member of one of the political parties.
Can you tell this commission?
For commission
UDP.
I am a member of the UDP.
Do you hold any special position in the UDP party?
UDP party kono makamo be buli jele ba.
Ntemu youth mobilizer.
Yes, I am a youth mobilizer.
Can you tell this commission what that entails?
Youth
all ntembolo ankawale kafunyoma ka political balunda.
Well, I try always to mobilize my peers, those who are around the same age with me, youth. Those are the people I always try to mobilize to participate in politics.
Can you tell us if anything happened in the year of 2016?
First of all, you fukuna na sort of ketala ba menketa 2016 song kono ba.
Ha.
Yes.
Tell the commission.
A demonstration, okay.
We organized a demonstration. Myself and people like Solo Sandeng.
Can you tell this commission what the demonstration was about?
The demonstration was because of the laws that the government promulgated.
Nunto karto na presidential ni ba nginila eka dalasi wulitang eka wale jo.
Formally, if you want to stand as a presidential candidate, you only pay $10,000.
So mansakunda na lua foko me alonko momo ni be lola president ya dalasi million kilibe wale jo.
Then the government changed that and said if anybody wants to stand as a presidential candidate, you have to pay $1 million.
Yo ani wato men nafana ya itandiko momo ela age kata purka ke president age mantarala.
And formally, there was this notion that anybody who wants to become a president, there was no age limit.
Yo sai na age limit londi ka itandiko momensie sangita worosi sangita woro wula si tamanya nakalo.
And that was changed by the government saying that anybody who surpasses the age of 65 to 70 years, you will not be able to stand as a presidential candidate.
So
Then we realized that that is not favorable to us.
So wale yatin aning atra coming natana jefana ko mansakunda e kudolu yitande melialon ko Senegal ning Gambia tema.
Then afterwards, the government introduced some other things between the Gambia and Senegal.
So ngaje ko wati oni wati sorondiro kake bunda ka soron mobuka dum mobuka na adum wonatna ngaje ko e banko ko leandele o banko naskanne,
which resulted to the closing of borders between the two countries, which was really unfavorable to the Gambian people.
So
this is what made us come out to demonstrate.
Can you tell this commission how the demonstration was carried out?
Silang faisa fono commission we nyimbalam baya nying aketa nyadi le.
Yo balambaya nying kumasta nyamen.
How the demonstration started, I was just sitting at home. It was on a Wednesday night.
Around 11
p.m. I was brewing attaya with some of my friends. Then Solo Sunday called me. He asked me, where are you? I told him that I am at home. He asked me, who are you there with? I gave him the names of the friends around there. He said, can you people come to my home? I said, yes, we can come there. Then we went to his home to answer to his call.
So
when we arrived there, when we sat down, he told us that I didn't call you for any other problem.
So
just as I narrated the reasons for the demonstration, he told me the same thing, saying that because of that lawlessness, this is why I called you here, so that we will mobilize each other and come out and organize a demonstration to try and stop those laws which are not favorable to us.
Mr. Touray, can you tell this commission on what date this demonstration was held?
Mr. Touray, foi sa fono commission we nyimbalam baya nying aketa lunjuma la karol lunjuma
14 April.
It took place on the 14th of April
2016.
In 2016.
And can you explain to the commission how the demonstration was carried out?
Lam foi sa fono commission we nyindam balam baya nying aketa tamanda nyadi le.
Natana kabir waketa natana fanya ko ngin alter lola la sama wala keta 14 April de wala lungo kanyanda 14 April lefe akonyimbe findilala.
Then after he explained this thing to me, to us at his home, then he said, we cannot delay this action. We have to come out tomorrow, the 14th of April, and stage the demonstration.
Natana findin tata bambo.
Then we all came out and went to Bambo. That's where we started the demonstration.
Mr. Touray, are you referring to Bambo in the Serekunda area?
Niko Bambo, foibe Serekunda Bambo mafangala.
Serekunda Bambo.
Yes, the area called Bambo in Serekunda.
You may continue.
Tenteng.
When we arrived at Bambo, then we realized that, well, there were not many people around. As far as we've realized that not many people came out, then we said, okay, let's go back to our political bureau and try to mobilize more people. Then after going back to the political bureau, we had some arguments there. Some were saying that let's postpone this demonstration. Others were saying no, whatsoever the case may be, let's just go out and demonstrate. Then we decided to take some vehicles and went back again to Bambo.
Then from there, we started walking on foot.
So mbediamol fola.
We were walking at the same time, chanting some words.
For Westfield.
Up to Westfield.
Can you tell this commission how many of you there were?
Isa fono nyin commission ay altro mo jelle nu tarta nu balambaya ke kan.
When we were going, as we were going along, there were many people.
Can you tell the commission the words you were saying as you were walking?
Mbo men na be nun tama kan. Fa isa fono commission al tarta ka mun kuma kan ne fo.
Electoral reform.
What we were saying was electoral reforms.
Did you do anything else during the demonstration?
Wokola fale kudo kelabang tembo men albe balambaya ke kamba.
Hani mamfiang koteke ninta mola mu mbeola fokan so lafta bankola Cairo la nim bankola nyatuta lafta wala so ni melbe ke kan menketa komengo Senegal ni Gambia tema bunda soron menkake mbeola fokan.
No, we didn't do anything. All what we were doing is walking on foot and chanting that electoral reforms. Then the border closure also between Gambia and Senegal is not favorable to us. We don't want such things. These are the things we were saying as we were walking along.
Were any of you carrying any sort of items?
Alkono altol membe o ke kanu fo mo soron dajele me alan ko femba tarta bulo kono ba.
Membe mbulu wala mu banati.
Yes, we were holding some banners.
And
also we had public address systems with us.
Can you tell the commission what was written on those said banners?
Faisa fono commission fana allo banal bala. Mun kuma kan lbe safiringo banal bala.
Nin commissioner sin sono abembulu na mobile kono ngaitandi membe safiring bana nyimbala.
If the commission allow me, I still have it in my mobile. What things that were written on those banners, I still have it in my mobile. If the commission can allow me, I will take it out to show the commission the things that were written on these banners.
Mr. Touray, for now, if you can remember, you can just tell us, but later on we shall take the copies of what you have.
Reform, electoral reform,
what was written on those banners were electoral reforms.
Thank you. Can you tell this commission if anything happened during the said demonstration?
Yes.
Something else happened. When we were there, then we saw a vehicle from the Serekunda police which came and stopped by.
Mr. Touray, can you tell this commission where you're referring to? Where were you when you saw the police truck coming?
Mr. Touray, han kabi fesa fono commission e ni ko police morona albe num Serekunda minto ma fa ne kabring police morona ja alota albe tembela jumaldo Serekunda
the Westfield Johnson Bato.
We were at the main junction at Westfield. That's where this Serekunda police vehicle came and stopped by.
You may continue.
Enten kabodo
Yo kabring anata kewajita ay simisi bulu jamal dun koyma.
Then somebody alighted from the vehicle. He was wearing a white shirt, long-sleeved.
Then clothes. Nata I solo sandeng kumande.
He called Solo Sandeng.
Ako I solo sandeng kumanda kai na solo tate danku.
He called Solo Sandeng and said to him, "Come." Then Solo Sandeng went to him.
Mulbe murta kabule noma.
Then we all started following them.
Solo Sunday I left Solo Sunday Sambalale.
Then what he later said was that he wants to take along Solo Sunday. Then all the people who were present said, "No, Solo is not going." That's why we were.
So because
the man, what I heard them calling him was so. That was what I heard them calling him.
Okay, I botan koto.
Then he left us.
Cooperative Tonko Tatalogy.
He went and stood at the corner of the cooperative department.
Abe telephone.
He was making a phone call.
Alawa telephone kono.
Well, during that phone call,
Beje ngaje PIU la truck woni abinakan symbol.
Then I saw a PIU truck coming with high speed.
Mele borta wol borta.
Some people ran away.
Mele mombori wolu lota.
Those who didn't run away stayed where they are.
Yo enata dum mol kona kamol muta killing.
Then they came into the crowd and started arresting the people one by one.
Am fay moto kono.
And they were throwing people on board their truck.
Mr. Touray, can you tell the Commission who was doing the picking up of people?
Mr. Touray, han gabi fo is afono commission e jumal tartanum kanyingi kamol tombon ke fay morokono.
Paramilitary.
The paramilitary were the people.
At that time, were they armed?
O wato la fo joran nan.
Akidol bebulu batinol bebulu.
Yeah, they were having guns and batons.
Because he kamodo li palefam.
And they were even beating some people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Continue to tell us what happened after they started throwing people up the truck.
Tentanya fo mole kibriya ku damuda pour kamol muta ke fay morokono.
Kabriya muta ye mfay moto kono.
When we were grabbed and thrown on board this vehicle,
ngaje enata silotile yen samba PIU.
Then the vehicle started and took the road towards the PIU camp.
Mbe moto kono PIU dol ba fo kanje ko altul mankul altul mukeba kul walol lelte altul lafta mo la banko dunna nyotol.
So when we went to the PIU, some of the PIU were saying, you people are shameless, you are rude, you people want to bring confusion into this country.
Mr. Touray, before we continue on that, you mentioned a soul.
Mr. Touray jande betente na fanala ye mo it konton fo jam mo to fo dam e ka fo e so.
So.
Yes, so.
Do you remember his first name?
Atofo lo yo ya to mutale bang.
Ani mato muta.
No, I don't know his first name.
Do you know where he worked?
Yala na do ko la fanna jumal do.
Serekunda police.
He works at the Serekunda police.
Do you know what his position was?
Yala makamo fana lonne bang police yega.
Mala makamo nyelo because membe dundingala simis ko be dundingala buton fula bala jam fimma.
Well, he was wearing the police white uniform with two epaulets on his shoulder, two tags on his shoulder.
Thank you for confirming. So that means that he was a police officer.
Baraka ba ke law senandiro amunta bare akoto munyete wala mindiko police do kula la mate.
Yes.
And it was because of a phone call that he made the PIU unit intervened into the demonstration process.
Munda yo telephone call kumandro menge wala asabu odali lo asabu paral natana.
Yes.
Continue to tell us when you got to PIU headquarters what happened.
Lan tenten ya fo mole bring al tenten da yal samba paral la dingirato mun keta jeta.
Yen samba paral la dingirato.
When we were taken to the Paras camp,
yembe gindi
they made us all alight from the vehicle.
Malo fo jemula training center fo jemu munati salibala yendundi wa salibani nakono.
I don't know whether it is their training center or what, but there was a big hall where they told us to go inside.
Sorry, Mr. Touray, can you tell the Commission where the PIU office is located?
Mr. Touray fa isa fono commission PIU para la indingira abe mintole
ni ebota KMC.
If you leave KMC
la fonko ni tambitala.
If you pass the KMC office,
ega gamtel soto ni ebota gamtel ekata para
after the KMC office, you go to the Gamtel office. From the Gamtel office, you then reach the paramilitary office.
Thank you. So you've told us that they arrested a lot of you and took you to the PIU office.
A lot of us were arrested, and I think we were about 26 people who were taken to the para camp.
Were there any women?
Yes, there were 3 women amongst us.
Can you tell us what happened next?
Okay, mbeokono police nyatonko donata.
We were there, and one of the police leaders came there.
Menketa Yankuba Sonkote.
Who is called Yankuba Sonko.
Can you tell us his position at that time?
Watola fo isa fono commission e mu makama le babulu no watola.
Nyaton ko le mu bare malo ala makamo ni nyaton ga bala mu dal.
I know that he is one of the police leaders, but I cannot remember what rank he was holding. I forgot that.
So
continue.
Kabira anata.
When he came,
anata lotam kunto.
He came and stood over us.
Ngaje na kafunyo makeli ya kumandatola.
Then I saw one of our friends call him by his name.
Akamfata ogulu.
He was very angry with that man. He said that man shouldn't call him.
Because I told stupid.
Because he said to that man that you people are stupid.
Yeah. So one at a day.
So that person kept quiet.
Okay,
sorry, Mr. Touray. Around what time did this said Yankuba Sonko come and meet you at the police intervention unit?
Montoro wadi jumalam ni Yankuba Sonko na rakal tarandi para la indingirado.
Around 5.
Around 5 p.m.
Do you know the name of the person he was referring to?
Yala na atarta mo jumal la ba?
Huh?
Yala na atarta mo jumal la ko fo jumale.
Yankuba.
Yankuba ko fo jumale.
Ako fo Ibrahim Jadamale.
He was referring to Ibrahim Jadama.
This said Ibrahim Jadama. Do you know what his position was?
Ibrahim Jadama yala makamo lon ne ba?
Sainting abe soldier yalla.
Recently he is a soldier.
You may continue.
After Mbeje ngedani fonsi salino bang.
After that, we appeal to them whether we can pray there. Then we all started praying one by one.
Okay,
they took our mobiles. They placed them all in one carton.
Okay, je Fatumata Jawara Nokoin Jai.
Then Nokoin Jai and Fatmata Jawara.
Nokoinjai Fatu Kamara.
Nokoinjai and Fatu Kamara.
And Modungom.
And Modungom.
Kafubayo. Ibrahim
Jabang.
Solo Sandeng. All more Lulu.
5 of them.
Ye
they took them out.
Ye all bonding kono.
They took them away from us.
Ye dundi pick up all kono.
They were placed in pickups.
And
they were taken away. Initially, I didn't know where they were taking them to.
Were these persons arrested with you?
Yes, we were all arrested together.
Earlier on, you mentioned that there are about 26 people who were arrested.
Yes.
And you have provided a list of these names to the commission.
Yes.
Do you presently have a copy of that?
Yes, I have the copy.
Okay.
Can you read out the names of the persons who were arrested?
Solo
Sandeng.
Lamin
Marong.
Ibrahima Janko Sise. Alaji Jamme. Lamin Sonko. Alaji Fati. Momodou
Touray.
Lamin Kamara. Kafu Bayo. Ibrahima
Jabang.
Momodou Lamine
Jawne.
Fatou Jawara. Fatou Kamara. Modungom. Ibrahima Touray. Ibrahima.
On the list after Fatou Kamara, you have Modungom.
Yeah.
Babukar Touray.
Modungom ni
Boubacar Dia.
Boubacar Dia.
Yes,
Boubacar Jaite.
Boubacar Jaite.
You may continue from there. Sadero.
Sader Seka. Usman
Ndiaye.
Kalilu Sedikan. Ekuta Yabo.
Ibrahima Jadama. Lamin Jata.
Alassana
Biaye.
Lassana Biaye,
Buba Cissé,
and Jogo.
Nokoy Njaye.
Nogoy Njaye.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Number.
And on that list,
the
the person stated on 1, 2, and 3, I have noticed that you have indicated late. Can you explain that to this commission?
Repeat the question, Council.
Ako foisi to explain no le wairi yaki jele ko late. Wokoto munity. Those people have passed away.
And those names are Ibrahima Solo Sandeng.
Well, Ibrahima Solo Sandeng.
Landing Marong.
And Landing Marong.
And Ibrahima Janko.
And Ibrahima Janko. Cisse. Ibrahima Cisse.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Mr. Chair, I'd like to tender this document before the Commission, and it will be Exhibit 167.
If you can allow me, there are two more people who has already passed away. Kekuta Yabo.
And Kalilu Sedikan.
And Kalilu Sedikan.
Will be fatal.
Those people have passed away.
Thank you very much.
Number.
So you've gone to the part where you've said to the Commission that about 6 people were picked up and taken away.
Yes.
But you don't know where they were taken to.
Yes, at that time I didn't know where they were taken to.
At this point, continue to tell the Commission what happened at the PIU headquarters.
Okay, Kabirem Yolu Samba Wokola and Atana Ndolfana Bulandi Pikopo Yembulolu Kieni Mofula and Mofula.
After those people were taken away, they came back for us and we were handcuffed. 2 people were handcuffed together. And we were also put on board vehicles. In that truck, we sat on the floor of the truck.
Okay,
when we were going out of the PIU compound, I saw Yankuba Koli coming out of the PIU office.
Mr. Touray, can you tell this commission who you're referring to as Yankuba Koli?
Mr. Touray,
Yankuba Koli atalamu KMC la mayor teno.
He was the mayor of KMC, this Yankuba Koli I'm referring to.
Afintita ayabuloko saba for a job well done.
He was clapping when he came out of the office, clapping and saying that a job well done.
Who was he saying a job well done to?
Atarta kain fo Jumale ka fo a job well done.
Yankuba Koli.
Atarta ka fo Jumale.
Abeo fo kan wotuma afintita para la office kono so ndola moto nyimbeta meka ani wole tembeta.
The time he was saying that it was the time when our vehicle was leaving the PIU camp. We were just passing by when he was saying this and clapping.
You may continue.
And then?
Afterwards, in Atana Nsamba, Yemfutandi mile to Central Prison.
After that, we were taken to the mile 2 Central Prison.
Mr. Touray, at this point, can you tell the Commission who took you to mile 2 Central Prisons?
Mr. Touray, you tembenna. Isa fono nye Jumale al Samba Kasibumbaro mile 2.
Paral.
The para.
And NIA officers odol.
Plus some officers of the NIA.
Were you at any point taken to a court of law before?
No, we were not
taken in front of any court of laws.
Do you remember how many PIU officers escorted you to mile 2 prisons?
Well, there were many on board the truck.
Do you remember how many NIA agents escorted you to Mile 2 prisons?
It's for hakilo samu don of NIA mo jellel tartanu nje menu brabe mol kon parar
fana asimo lulu si fo mo woro because wol fana nim pick up fulal nata.
Well, it might be up to 5 to 6 people because they also came with 2 pickups.
Do you know any of their names?
Told dum fo si mol to mutano ikono leba.
Ani mammo to mutawatembola.
No, at that time I cannot remember any name.
If you were to see them again, would you recognize them?
Niye je kotenge nyalo te kan ibe sutela leba.
Medul sutela ni nyabote kan.
Yes, if I see some of them, I will recognize them.
Thank you. Can you tell us at what time you were escorted from the PIU headquarters to Mile 2 Central Prisons?
Silam fo isa fo no nye wato montro wati jumalam yal bondi para la dingirado kal samba kasibumbato.
Around 6.
Around 6.
Around 7 kan wato lam futata Mile 2.
Towards 7 o'clock, that was the time we arrived at the Mile 2 prisons.
Can you tell this commission what happened when you got to Mile 2 Central Prisons?
Silam fo isa fo no commission haninga big bi al futata kasibumbato munena nake.
Kaberim futata je inata ngindile.
We were told to alight from the vehicle.
Ye kaitolta.
They took some papers.
Yemol la details solta.
And they took our details.
After our details takono.
During the writing of those details,
inatana camera mano dul soteje medialonko ye fonko ke tabla ke momo ke kumandile tabla ye to safe tabla nyambala ya julo kala ya sidi kamoto.
Well, there were some cameramen who were present, and what they were doing is they had this.
He said there was a cameraman. Was there more than one?
Iko cameraman obe general la fo mo atambira kilin la ba
ngana la kilin sute nana kaji jam fan otole.
I recognize one cameraman who used to be here, but ako fo kilin na bije bangolu motembo.
Ani kilin teje.
There was no. It was not one cameraman. There were 2 cameramen.
You may continue.
Membe ndol camera kan.
The person who was taking our pictures,
ngaji janne.
I saw him here. Before these things started, he started. I saw him a hefty person. He is fair in complexion, not completely fair, but in between. He's the person who took my picture personally.
Thank you, Mr. Touray. You have said they were taking your details.
That's happened. That's every person, they will ask you your name. They took our names.
So then, can you tell the commission what was the purpose of the pictures being taken?
I don't know
the reason why they were taking our pictures.
And you've indicated that they were putting like a board in front of you before your picture was taken. Is that correct?
Plywood, cardboard, kunto ya wale deda julo bulala kabula kanole yeto safabala.
They made pieces of cardboard which were cut, and they put a rope in a hole on the cardboard and hang it on our necks where they write your name.
Apart from your name being written on the cardboard, was anything else written on it?
Cardboard nyimba ninga borai tola ka mesa feje foi ka fendo fana sa feje laba.
Ali imam fen sa feje wala sa feje.
No, apart from the names, nothing else was written on these cardboards.
Please tell the commission what happened after your pictures were taken.
Silang tendai ya fo commission e biring ya la na dalolta munana na ke kotange.
Abi woluta fo pareta.
After they took these pictures,
then
we were made to stand in a line.
Samba, the central prison, central military confinement.
And we were taken to the military confinement.
Military confinement, million Sambaje.
The people who took us to that military confinement,
paral ni wo NIA kilon wala lian samba.
It was the same paramilitary officers and the NIA who took us to that place.
Mr. Touray, please, can you tell this commission before we get to the part of where you were taken to the cells?
Mr. Touray, facing fanna for more jani bida fanna like a member selo la fanna.
Can you explain what your welcome was like at the Mile 2 Central Prison?
Isa for no commission yal bismillah nyaadi la biringal frata kasoro bas kasoro ye.
Kabim frata kasoro e ma bismillah man ko wo kay mel bebe je nga mel taraje because ndol moli jawol nga muta wala nyama.
Well, there was no welcome for us at the Mile 2 Central Prison because when we arrived there, the people we found there, I think those people, in fact, were our enemies.
Do you know who was the DG of the Central Prisons at that time?
Yes, I know.
David Colley wala mula nyaton kote.
David Colley was their leader at that time.
When you were taken to Mile 2 as a detainee, who welcomed you?
David
Colley wala yengia.
David Colley was our host.
Who received you when you arrived at Mile 2 Central Prisons?
David
Colley wala yembendu.
David Colley received us there.
You're therefore telling this commission that on the day when you arrived at Mile 2 Central Prisons, David Colley was in the office waiting to receive you.
David Colley
David Colley office.
Yes, we found David Colley standing at the door of his office.
Continue to tell us, after you were received by David Colley, what happened next.
David Colley alta.
Military confinement.
After all that, we were taken to the military confinement section. Inside there, when the NIA and the paramilitary took us in there, we found a big table there. At that time, there was a big book placed on the table. The escorts who took us there, their names were written down. And the detainees also, names were also written down. The young man we found there is called Fadera. They call him Fadera. He's the person we found at that table. Around after the 7 p.m. prayers that day.
Sorry, Mr. Touray, can you tell us the position that Fadera was holding?
Mr. Touray, for isa fono moli o Fadera kontongo for isa fono moli alay mun makama le babulu.
Prisoner police wala mate.
He was a prison police officer.
You may continue.
And then?
So,
they wrote down our names.
Yeah, bail list.
And we were all listed down. Then we were taken into another room where they have separate cells.
So, room for cell 4.
Then I was placed inside cell room number 4.
So, we
were all put in cells one by one. And the doors were locked. The water that they brought us to drink is a bottle like this Evian bottle, each one bottle. And they brought also these mayonnaise tins, and we were told that we have to ease ourselves inside those empty mayonnaise tins. That's how we were there. Till sometime late at night.
Around Because Mebuga pick up all event tala to moment na yem koteke at the same para unit ani or NIL wala murtanan koteke.
Because the same paramilitary officers and the NIA came back again.
Suto tembola 2:45.
Around 2:15 at night.
Inata yem fintindi koteke.
Then we were taken out again.
Ayatara modul tarasino kono vang.
Some, in fact, were already asleep. We were taken out. We were made to stand in a line, one by one. We were lined up. And our names were written down again. We were barefooted. We went out. When we went out of the compound, they decided to handcuff us, 2 people to 1 handcuff. And we were put on board pickup vehicles again. Because they came with these pickups, white pickups with tinted glasses. So we were put on board those pickups.
Mr. Touray, can you tell the Commission how many pickups there were?
Mr. Touray, for isafono Commission ni pickup memu ni moto jallam.
If I can remember, there were 4 pickups.
You may continue.
When we went on board these pickups, we went out of the prison premises and headed towards Banjul. When we reached Banjul,
State House la back door Siloni.
The back door towards the State House.
Ngaje ye moto dundi wala andundawala.
That's the way we took.
Tatam futara fo korda bado datoje.
We went up to the gate of one of the main compounds around there.
So ngamera wolto mu NIA.
I think that's the NIA compound. I think that's the NIA main compound.
Futara yengindi.
When we arrived there, we were made to alight from these vehicles. Can you allow me to go back a little bit?
Yes, you may.
Because ngina takudola mamemfo wale keta Fatmata Jawara yata mile tule.
I forgot to say one thing. Fatmata Jawara was picked from mile 2. They didn't take her from the PIU. She was picked up from the mile 2. Iko yata jele.
Ha, yata mile 2. Yata mile 2 ha.
Yes, she was picked from mile 2.
Sang kabire mfutata.
When we reached,
ye mbegindi ye lampo fa kordanyi nkono kordanyi ndibita.
When we were all made to alight from these vehicles, they put off the lights in the compound and every place became dark.
Sorry, Mr.
Touray.
Just to clarify, you have indicated that you left mile 2 prisons. And you were in pickups taken towards Banjul. In that conversation, you mentioned the back door of State House.
State House mansakunda korda mansala korda bari koma.
Otumo wasiloni nemu back door menka dun State House la wala yatana.
It was the same road which goes up to the back gate of the State House.
It is therefore correct to say you're referring to Marina Parade.
Exactly.
But having left mile 2 prisons, the first building you would really get to was the NIA headquarters.
Yes,
that's the main compound of the NIA.
Thank you. Continue to tell us where you stopped to say that when you got there, they turned off all the lights.
All the
lights in the compound were put off. We were all made to alight from the vehicles one by one. And they brought these black bags and put it over our heads one by one. They will tell you, raise up your legs before you will be wounded. Until we reached the destination we were supposed to go to.
Mr. Touray, just to clarify, you said when you left mile 2, you were placed into the pickups 2 by 2.
Well, they put 2 together inside and they will bring one person to sit to sit over you. And they will make one person to sit down on the legs of these 2 people. Because the vehicles were filled up, because they also come in 2 by 2. In fact, we were forced together because the vehicles were too small for the amount of people who were made to go on board the vehicles.
Further, you have come to say to the Commission that when you were leaving the pickups, you were brought down one by one. Is that correct?
Yes, this was because when we arrived, the handcuffs were removed from our hands and we were made to come down one by one.
Thank you, Mr. Touray. So it is therefore correct to say that at Mile 2 Central Prisons, you were all placed in handcuffs. To be transported to NIA headquarters.
So the person who was made to sit on our legs was also handcuffed.
Thank you. So now we've got into the part where you get to NIA. You've explained the lights were turned off. You've now gone to the part where they put a bag over your head.
Silangi furata NIA sansan kono iko kabral furata NIA sansan woni kono inata lampol nyimbe fa ya londi inata na kayim bodo fingol ta ka dundungal kungol da killing momo ika bodo ta ka mini kungol da.
Is that correct?
Yes, that's what happened.
Can you explain to this commission what type of bag was put over your head?
Silam fo isa fo no commission hani kabi mum bodo sifa ika menta ika munta ika bulal kungol da.
Boto ni akamunta le kotino so aboto mala mo afima nik igawole bule kungola na finti fo count.
Well, these bags look like cotton bags, but they are dark black, and that's the bag they will put over your head up to the neck.
Continue to tell the commission what happened next.
Ngabi tenteng ya fo commission e muna nata nage okola.
Yo mbe wabe kungola nyawanya.
Despite that bag over my head,
mbe
when I was passing, going, I heard Nogoi talking. Inside the Bahamas, that's where she was talking.
So
I passed. We were taken to one room.
Sorry, Mr. Touray, 1 minute. How did you know it was Nogoi that was sitting in the Bahama?
Iti alo nyaadi le ko Nogoi atel tartanu siringo nyamo kono Bahama sal kono.
Because
Because where I was standing, I knew that I was standing inside grass. And she was also sitting on that same grass.
How did you know it was her? How did you identify her as a person?
Yes. I recognize her voice.
You may continue.
So,
we were taken into a room where it looked like it's a panel inside that room. People I found there, I looked around, were people with laptops. If I can remember, 3 of us were taken together.
Marong yenni wala dundi ñola.
I was taken in along with Lamin Marong
Ani Alaji Fati.
and Alaji Fati.
Yo me yente interview.
The person who interviewed me,
Ay nginin kantola.
he asked me my name
Jannabe interview la.
before he started the interview.
So akonye ko ete to dungan to faye.
He asked me my name, I gave him my name.
Mpana nginin kantola ayato fonye.
I asked him his name, he also gave me his name.
Nkai ako atomu Dembo Bojannete.
He said his name is Dembo Bojang.
Yo anatana nginin ka akonye mbe nginin kala.
He then went on, he told me that I'm going to question you.
Akonye to do.
He asked me my name.
Abulobe computer ba nkai nto Momodou Touray.
His hands were on the computer. Then after he asked me my name, I told him that my name is Momodou Touray.
Kwenye wuluta mentola nkai nte wuluta Badibu Iliasale.
He asked me where were you born? I told him that I was born in Badibu Ilyasa.
Ay nginen ka e konton la. Ay nginen ka e wuluta Sanjumal la.
He asked me my date of birth.
Manson na direct sound for lie.
I didn't give him my correct date of birth.
Ngai ko wuluta nga sangita na soto.
I told him that I was 40 years old.
Kabiru waketa.
After that,
okay, anatna nginen ka ngina ko ite be political party jumalto.
then he later asked me, which political party do you belong to?
Nkai ntebe UDP le.
I told him I am a member of the UDP party.
Kwenye kabirin how long itebe UDP.
He asked me, how long have you been in the UDP party?
Nkai ko kabirin 1996 ntebe UDP.
I told him since 1996 I was in the UDP party.
Itolumel beje be ko jijanyola
All of them shook their heads together and said,
Mr. Touray, can you tell us how many agents were in the panel interview room?
Mr. Touray hanin kabi isa fono commission yo alpha ka fo nyindo bungo nyin kono je tarte ke nyin ka damendo itol mo jelle benu je o bungo nyin kono
me controlonde bari asimona mo lulu sile.
Well, I don't know how many of them were there, but I'm sure there were either 4 or 5 people.
Wotembole eke sindi duma le ni ko be sila siranga ka fo nani si duma.
At that time, they don't allow you even to sit on a chair. If you want to sit down, they'll tell you, no, sit on the floor.
Would you recognize any of them if you were to see them again?
o molu nying ni yeje fo ibe sutela la ba
Dembo Bojang ni nyawo jembe sutela dawada.
I will be able to recognize Dembo Bojang anywhere I happen to see him again.
Do you know what position Dembo Bojang was holding?
In Dembo Bojang fo yala makamo lonne ba mentarta abulu je numba
Ani malo be mum makama to. Bari ngatara computer la kunda.
No, I don't know what was his rank or what his position was, but he was with a computer.
Can you continue to tell the commission what happened in that interview panel?
silang ten ya fo commission we munana na ke o nyini karol ni jabirol to menkete ini nyinu tema jeto
Kambano me ye receive
The person who received me
kabirim bunda to kabirim futata
from the door when we arrived,
membota da kona konye ko fayta ma akonye ete botamindo nkai mbota manjay kundal.
he asked me, you, where do you come from? I said to him, I'm from Manjai.
Akonye nda fana tarta kotule.
He said he himself also was staying at Kotu.
Fayta manjay Dar es Salaam lanka ha.
He said to me, aren't you staying at Manjai Darussalam? I said, yes.
Na konye ko bari foy malon ko sula ulon wuluta janne.
He told me, don't you know that even monkeys were born in this country?
Ngai ko bari sula ulon botnan dunkira dol fana inata jay wuluta jan.
I said, but monkeys came from another destination and came here, and they were also born here.
Akonye okay ngata ibalon na.
He said, okay, let's go. You will know.
Watole mum
That's the time when
yem fintindi
we were taken out.
akabe boto bulalan kungola kote ke manson.
He wanted to put that bag over my head again, but I
am
refused.
pushing nganyo push ayen dundi bundo kono membota wo panel bungo nyimbala bungo memba bala.
I resisted when he wanted to place this bag on my head. There was a push and pull. Then he pushed me into a room where after the room which was just next to this hall where we left. I found 5 people standing there. And the bag was over their heads. And there were small slits where their eyes were visible. They told me to lie down. I said, why should I lie down? They said, you will have to lie down. I refused. There was a push and pull. They hit me on my neck. And that's the time when all my joints went limp. They made me to lie down. They tied my chest to the table with my hands, because what they tied me up with, it looked like if it is something which had electricity in it. I became very weak. And they came and stood over me. And they were beating me. They beat me up to a point. Almost 5 minutes. Almost after 5 minutes, they will pour some water on me. And they will wait for a little bit. And they will come back again. And they will beat me up for some time. And after the beating, they will use a small minus container and take cold water and pour it over my head and my face up to the point of some water will come out of my nose. So one person came in there and said to them, hey, you people wait. Who happens to be Lamin Fati? We all know that person together. All those who were beaten that day, all know Lamin Fati. Because he escaped and they called his name. Somebody outside called him and said to him, answer. After that, he said to me, you people were ordered by Usainu Dabo. I said to him, Usainu didn't ask us to do anything. In fact, he didn't send us to do anything. Then that's the time he went out and told them to carry on. And they started beating me up again. I was wounded. I sustained some injuries from that place.
Mr. Touray.
Mr. Touray.
Sorry that I have to take you back a bit. Can you tell this commission what were they using to hit on you?
They were beating me with battens and other things just like cables.
Do you remember anything else that they used to hit you with?
Hose pipe fan belt.
Some people had hose pipes and fan belt, which can have the width of 2 fingers put together.
Can you tell the commission why they felt the need to pour the cold water on you?
When you are going under beatings and when they pour cold water on you, that's something very, very, very painful. Well, what I thought personally was that water was mixed up with something like poison, which makes it very painful when they spill that cold water on your body. The reason why I said this, when I was going out of that place, then I realized that I am not myself anymore. When I came off that cold,
Mr. Touray, are you okay to continue?
Mr. Touray,
yes, I am myself. After that, After we were all beaten and we were taken out of that room.
Sorry, before the taking out, were they beating you on your bare body?
No, I was wearing a shirt. I was not bare. My body was not bare. But I sustained some injuries, bruises, and lacerations on my body. If the commission wants to see, I can show you, because still I am bearing those marks on my body.
With the permission of the chair, the witness would like to show the commission the injuries that he sustained.
Kami itandi kiaman la dunyo kang ninga atra kiaman sonda sedo la fita pur kala o barmol nyinki itandi commission la ninga atra kiaman akunda la dunyo.
You can show the commission.
Isa tandi no commission la lesila.
Mr. Touray, do you want to show them the injuries on your leg?
Ko foi lafta ka ita ilis barmol men fanan kile singora foi so lafta ka fanan tandi ko. Tamane wala nyinti ko general ol tane ñaar do manding barmol men be balo bala ni isingol bala ñaar do manding pour ka dundi diamol kono ke lafa sede jarul kan.
Mr. Touray, from the time of your arrest and detention in the several places, was this the only time that you were beaten on?
Yenyi mutol men be kela ke sound dingira kabu dingira kata dingira fo nyin dingira dolam nyin dingira kilingolam nyin dingira me alonko ye tajire ya wara ye bute ba
le parodanda wolul nela ma wo dingira nyinto.
The beating was ended at that day, at that place. That was the only time I was beaten.
Sorry, my question was taking you back a bit. From the time that you were arrested by the PIU. From that time up to the time that you were beaten at NIA. Was that the only time you were beaten during that time of your arrest?
Yes,
that was the only time I was beaten.
And in your testimony, you have mentioned a Lamin Fati as a victim?
Ila CDRO kono ye moto fo jang ikafume Lamin Fati andu adfanan keta molde me alonko ay kolea kol soto muto kono.
And you have also later mentioned another Lamin Fati who came into the room.
Andu nyaar do manding fana ila sede andiro nyin kono ye Lamin Fati do fanan to fo me alonko anata bungo nyin kono itata ke lipa bungo nyin men kono.
Can you please clarify which Lamin Fati you're referring to?
Jansen and the mole ba ibe Lamin Fati jumal kilin nak mo fo kan jang.
Mem fo kan alaji Fati lemu wala mun yenni wala muta nyola.
The one I am talking about is Alaji Fati. He is the person I was arrested along with.
Therefore, you're telling the commission that the second, well, the Lamin Fati that you mentioned is an NIA agent.
Munta kami for commission wala mnyindiko yenyi Lamin Fati men nak mo foteng nya labante men foteng womu NIA do kulalte.
Womu NIA do kulalte.
Yes, that man is an NIA operative.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. At this point, I think it's time for the first break.
Thank you, Council, and thank you, Mr. Touray. We'll take a 30-minute coffee break, come back at 12 noon. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.